man says it's gonna rain. Don't worry, girl, it won't change a thing. Yeah, we still got plans tonight. We're gonna kick it, that's a given, baby, rain or shine. Leave your Sunday best at home, be the last time you...
I'm Larry Ridley.
All right, Larry, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Tonight, we've got a good AFC matchup on tap between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Kansas City Chiefs. Here's Cairo Santos now, ready to get this one started. And into a sea of red, we're underway in Kansas City. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. And over the middle, it's LaFell. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Dalton throwing on 2nd down. Green's got it over the middle. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. They look to throw on 3rd with Dalton. He's got time. Being chased out left. He may try and run for this. Nothing doing on that one, and it'll be 4th down. Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive. They'll run. This is Bernard. And he is going to lose yardage here. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And the Chiefs will have the football back in excellent field position. So they take a big chance here in their own territory, and you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room? Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter. I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations. Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on second down. Now Smith, under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The safety blitz staged to perfection that time as they sack him for a loss of 6.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play. 3rd and 11, 5 in the secondary now.
Nickel look. They'll run it now. This is Charkandrick West. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
There's so many things that go into playing the position of linebacker. Some of them are actually subtle. Doing the drill work that you do all the time in practice and carrying it over to the game. Get rid of blockers and get to the ball carrier and knock him down for a loss.
Back to throw, Smith. And it is incomplete. The Chiefs tried it, but they're turned away on 4th down. And the Bengals will get the football back. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. It doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
The drive starts with a handoff to Bernard. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, they certainly got Dennett.
And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And my goodness, they're now out of timeouts here in this first quarter. Second down to the offense in search of 6 yards. Again, here's Bernard. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run, probing now early to try and get things done later.
A gain of 7, and they pick up the first.
Well, partner, they might want to tear up their scouting reports a little bit here because they just broke tendency. 3rd down, you don't ordinarily see a toss. They ran it, and they ran it really well and picked up a first down. I love the way the edges were sealed, which allowed him to get to the corner. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Dalton underneath here to Hill. 20. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Jeremy Hill, 45 yards. And the Bengals are going to take a first quarter lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. He oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. After the touchdown, here's Mike Nugent now to kick this one away. Tyreek Hill on the return. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Charles the lone setback. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Carlos Dunlap able to collapse the pocket and drop him for a loss of 3. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a defensive...
Looking for Macklin, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Adam Jones. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They'll begin here with Bernard. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Fakes the give to Bernard. Dalton steps away. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. Will the defense dial up the pressure? Let's see. 3rd and 11. Third down. A shot here for Dalton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. A 4th down gamble with Dalton. A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Chiefs will have the football back in excellent field position. And, partner, I'm not really sure what in the world they were thinking on 4th and long there at this stage in the game, but you think social media may be firing up a little bit right now?
Oh, the coach is trending right now. Right? There's no doubt about it. People are wondering what that decision was. But it takes me back to a number of years ago. A very successful coach in the league had told himself before a playoff game he was going to be aggressive. No matter what, he's going to be aggressive. And it ran his team into some real problems early, and they got upset in that playoff game. Let's see if this team can recover.
Well, that's aggressive in capital letters with glitter, 7 underscores. I mean, that's the definition of aggressive.
Yeah, you can almost hear the cheerleaders doing the be aggressive chant behind him, and he listened to it.
Jeremy Macklin, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. Smith. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off by the Alabama man, Dre Kirkpatrick. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of...
They send Green to the left on his own. Their D gets the INT. Now what can Dalton do? Floating one, incomplete. Giovanni Bernard, the intended receiver, out of the backfield. And now it's second down.
Well, partner, so much for the mismatch. How about the guy at the second level, that big linebacker, able to run with the receiver and make a play on the football?
They come out here in the eye. Passing, it's Dalton. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way, so he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it, just move on to the next play.
So incomplete on second down. Now they'll look to convert here on third. Here's Dalton. And that's complete to LaFell. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Brandon LaFell, 43 yards. And the Bengals add on to their lead.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there. Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it. He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game. Can he put it aside? Let's find out. And they still need 8 yards for the first here on second down. Smith. And now the ball's loose. Smith loses it. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning, it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on. And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. You know, it's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and you know the teams knew it as well, and maybe they got fooled and thought, it's going to be okay. And now they're probably a little upset that it's out there. Because warm-ups were dry. Oh, we're dry, and now you've got to make the change up, and it's the first quarter. It might take them a little time to settle in on their focus and concentration. How many times when we see an incomplete pass, we just look at the receiver and say, should have caught that one. That was a drop, and we just put it on the offense. How about a little credit for the defense there? They just forced an incompletion. Yeah, especially after starting in a tough spot defensively, but a good start there on first down. That gave them a little extra confidence there, starting, as you said, in a tough spot and being able to make a play on first down. I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. Toss, Bernard. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. No gain on the play there. It'll be second down. He couldn't get the edge there. Wasn't sealed, so maybe not all on the guy running the football all the time on those tosses and the pitches that go to the outside. No, not at all. I would agree with that totally, because sometimes the defensive guys, they win the edge battle. And when they do that, there's no place for the running back to go, and especially for offensive linemen trying to get out ahead. With their footwork and speed, it was negligible on that play. No gain at all for the offense. It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks. But it doesn't matter what you call a position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion. Now a toss play to Bernard. And he is going to lose yardage here. The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal. They'll run again with Bernard. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And that...
Everyone gears up for third down, talks about the importance of it. But fourth down, that's truly the moment of truth play, isn't it?
Everything's dialed up a little bit more. And, you know, it's such a momentum play, isn't it?
Absolutely, because it can flip either way depending on who converts on fourth down.
From his goal line here, Smith. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by George Iloka. And he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line. Well, they were obviously backed up. Had a little bit of space from the goal line, snapping it from the 3, but still trying to throw it. And...
yeah, exactly. This is where hindsight is 20/20 comes into play, right? Seems like a good idea to throw the ball there. Maybe you'll surprise them and catch them off guard. Instead, you've created a turnover and put your defense in a bad spot.
Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target. And that'll bring up second down. Second down following the incompletion.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it. An in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
That is caught at the 7-yard line. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Dalton here from the gun. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
And again, Andy Dalton to throw. Looking for Boyd, and he's got him. Touchdown, Bengals. Tyler Boyd, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
And, oh, it's no good. For the second time now in this first half, he's missed an extra point. After the touchdown, here's Mike Nugent now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Now the Bengals defense readies as they head onto the field. And they forced 4 turnovers now in that last possession, most recently the interception.
I'd love to be in charge of their highlight video at the end of the season, though, because this game, you could cut it into one sequence, take away, take away, take away, take away, and everyone goes home happy. There is no doubt that Geno Atkins is really strong and stout at the point of attack, but I love his suddenness, the ability to make plays, to be in one spot, and then he's gone and into the offensive backfield. He's a heck of a player.
And they're a big TFL, tackle for loss.
Hard to believe that his father, Gene Atkins, was an NFL defensive back. He's bred this big defensive tackle.
Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side, but for lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Here's Smith. He's going to let it go again. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by George Iloka. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on second. Fakes the give to Bernard. Dalton under pressure, and they got to him again. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss.
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
Third and long. What will Dalton dial up? And this will be caught at the 30. And he is finally out of bounds, just shy of the 5, all the way down at the 6. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more to his game, gets stronger. But the best part about him is he's always been accurate.
Now a play fake here on first down. On the move to his left. And he's got his big tight end, Eifert, and it's a Bengal touchdown. Tyler Eifert from 6 yards away. And the Bengals add on to their lead. Got outside of the tackle box, and sometimes that can be a recipe for disaster, but here it was not.
And it's frustrating for guys on defense, too, because he got out to the left.